Hi everyone, it's 17th September today. To show you the round baler, it's all put away. We blew it off and sort of oiled it up a bit. So I'm gonna spray some sort of diesel oil mix all over the panels on the outside, and then I started on the back but sort of haven't finished it yet. So that will protect it hopefully. And yeah, it's sort of already soaked into it there. I just got to do a bit more to that. So yeah, so it's put away, and we've still got the middle of the field from the last video to bale the headland, or bale the middle of, because I baled the headlands in rounds. So we have put it away, but the question is, have we been a bit quick putting it away? Because if the small baler doesn't work, it'll have to come out again. So I'm not sure whether I have tempted fate by putting it away, and but we'll see in a minute, because we have got the small baler hitched up. Here it is, all hitched up, and we greased it up just now, blew the tyres up, and it's ready to go. So hopefully it'll work alright. It did work well last year after the baler doctor looked at it. We did have to make one little adjustment to it because it did miss tie to start with, but I'm not sure why that was, but generally it was making way better bales after he'd been through it than it has for a long time. So so we were pleased with that. So yeah, so fingers crossed it will work alright. And it's a Massey Ferguson, and it's a Massey Ferguson 20-8 baler. There's like loads of them made, I think. Well, that's the serial number there. So yeah, it's much older than I am. But yeah, so hopefully it'll work, and we will get out there and see. If it doesn't work, like I say, the round baler will have to come back out again, but I'm hoping that won't be the case. The reason we want small bales is to for the lambing pens mainly, because it's nice for that. It has worked this year, but all it has done is baled a round bale of barley straw. We did it the other day because there's a local charity event and they make a bale man, and we supply the round bales for the body of it and small bales for the legs and arms. So we didn't have any small bales, so we baled some for that. The bale sleigh not been very well looked after. Don't even know if the tyres are up. Yeah, that one is. That one is. And that one is. That's good. So yeah, it's been a bit neglected, and hopefully it'll be right. Right, we'll get it hitched up and get set up. Right, we've oiled it up a little bit on all the joints. Looks better now. So yeah, giving it a bit of a grease up, the front wheel greases. And when we bought it first, we thought it was marvellous because we still had a sledge that pulled behind the baler, and we had to put all the bales into eights. And once we first had a flat 8, we thought it was brilliant. We had the flat 8 grab long before we had a flat 8 sleigh, so yeah, that made things a lot better. Before that we had a take put, which was picking up 12 on the front, but they all had to be stacked before we could pick them up. And then to start with, we were doing the same with the flat 8, just putting them in 8s. But then we bought this, and just made life so much easier. But yeah, and like I say, it gets neglected now, so we hardly use it. But right, so just getting ready to get going, and see if it'll work. Fingers crossed. Right, here we go. see knots there, so it's tied the first one. Just check the bale weights in a minute, because just screwed it down 10 turns on each side just to start it off, and we'll see what they're like after it's made a few. Certainly sounding alright anyway. The sleigh's working well, so see what these are like. Yeah, nice bales. They're good bales, they're heavy. Don't know if they need to be that heavy, but that's one we had earlier. That was one of the ones from the round bale that was already in the chamber. So yeah, alright, they're a bit these are alright for length. They're all sort of similar length, but they're just a couple of short ones there because, like I say, they were already in the chamber. But all these here that are sort of consistent length. So we, or Dad earlier on came out and raked up the straw because the pickup reel on the baler is too narrow. The combine leaves it too wide, and you can't pick it up, and it sort of wastes it either side. So he came out with, we got a Lely, that's a Lely Lotus Combi raked header, and that's really nice for the straw. And he came out and went over it all with that earlier, and the baler picks it up really nicely then. So yeah, they're more even now. Look, the lengths are looking alright, so we'll just check the weights again. Yeah, they're nice bales. I think I might tighten it down a little bit though. Yeah, they're good bales, and it's making, yeah, I think it needs to be a bit heavier. They're nice knots, look. Nice even knots. Yeah, it's definitely, this is the best it's run for years really. So like I say, since the baler doctor did what he did to it, it's good. Right, we'll tighten it down a little bit. Three, 4. Yes, that's 4 turns. We'll just follow it and see what happens and see. Right, we'll load some bales, get some air conditioning on, it's a bit hot in here. Can't believe how nice this weather is. It's like, it's 20 to 6 and it's so warm. If only we'd had this weather like a month ago, it would have been ideal, but at least it sort of came in the end, I suppose. Yeah, I'm not sure we'll bale all this today. We'll just partly we wanted just to make a start and see if the baler worked. So that's got that bit out of the way and we know it's working. So I think before he finishes it'll be the dew will come in and we won't get it all done. It's the first time we used the flat 8 since last year. Yeah, so they bought the baler in a farm sale, him and my grandfather, in 1971, I think he said. And he thought, from what he can remember, is that it had done like 2 seasons. So, yeah, so it hadn't done much work, and he said that it was like, he said it was cold and wet at the time at this farm sale, and this one came up, like I say, that was nearly new, and I think he said they paid £400 for it at the time, which was, I think he reckoned was about, he ain't exactly sure of the figures, it's such a long time ago, but approximately like half the price of a new one at the time. And they were only, they only had a 35 at the time to pull it with, I think. So it's done a lot of bales, and the only bit of it that's original, I think, is like the chassis and like the actual shell of it, like the bale chamber. Yeah, it's had lots of donor balers that have been used over the years, but back in the, well, back when we first came to this farm, we were sort of doing pretty much all the straw in small bales, and yeah, we're sort of doing like 8,000 to 10,000 bales a year with it. So, you know, it's a lot of stuff. Like with that included like small bale hay as well, and you know, now we're sort of, if it bales, if there's 500 bales here, that'll be about it, sort of 400 to 500, and that'll be all it does this year. So how things have changed, and you know, the systems have changed, and it's incredible, really. Sort of a bit of a novelty to use it now, and some years there just sort of like dreaded getting out of the shed because it just meant all the work of carrying it in, and it's only sort of me and Dad to do it, and at times when the weather was catchy, it's a bit of a nightmare. But like the round baler is probably like the best thing ever invented for saving hay and like bale wrappers and stuff like that. Just made life so much easier. Yeah, so we just stack them on like this for carrying them in, and I'll just put 4 rows on the trailer, and then I'll break up an 8 and use to put down the middle, just to sort of tie them together on the top. So that'll be like, I think that's like 104 bales. And you know, we're only sort of, this is the back, out the back of the farm yard, so it's not too far to go with them, and don't need to rope it or anything like that because we aren't going on any roads. So sort of works a treat really. We've been doing it like this for years. We sort of got to the point of doing this and not really handling too many. If they'd had a flat 8 and a tractor like this back when we were and trailers, you know, just back when they were doing this in the 70s, it would have made life so much better. You know, just trying to save the hay and straw, I think, was a nightmare. Or the hay especially. Straw's not so bad. Yeah, so far it's all going nicely. Haven't mistied a bale, so it's baled like 100 bales now or more. Yeah, it'll be a nice conclusion to the harvest. Dad likes using the small baler. When we were younger, back, I don't know, when I was sort of in my late teens, I used to do quite a lot of the baling, but my dad was younger then, so I suppose we had our own combine back in those days as well, an old Massey combine. Right, I'll get this loaded up and we'll go in and take this in and go and get another trailer. Right, just put the first load in, and they're the first 2 bales out the baler, so yeah, we have to build it by hand. Ideally it'd be nice to put them in with a flat 8, but it doesn't work like that, so there's not enough room. We've put round bales in here as well, and this is some of the wheat straw that we bought in, and we've also still got our wool here as well. That needs to go and be taken to the depot. We still sell our wool to British Wool Board, and going to get ripped off wherever we take it, so we've just sort of stayed with the wool board. But yeah, so that started that off anyway. Right, we'll go and load up another load. Right, we're just stacking the last of the bales in. We've finished baling, and the baler's all oiled up and put away, so both balers now packed away for the winter, and we're up top of the shed. Got round bales, and we handle the sheep in here. So that's just bringing in the bales with a flat 8. Yeah, I'll put you down there a minute. Yeah, so we had 500 bales of straw in total, so that was good. We were well pleased with that, and plus we had the other bales, the round bales as well. There's not like a massive yield of straw off that field, but it's all right considering it was probably left there a little bit longer than it should have been. We finished putting the small bales in, and there they are all stacked in. We used to fill this bay here as well, but obviously not making so many now. But yeah, so that's done. We've just got 22 round bales to put in now, and they're going to go in that little gap there. So yeah, that is the end of harvest. I'm hoping to put the hedge trimmer on later. So it's 19th of September now, so going to start hedge cutting the fields now, ready for ploughing for winter barley. So we've got 36 acres of winter barley to put in. So yeah, that's the next job, to start getting ready for that. Right, hope you've enjoyed that little video. Thanks for watching. Remember to like the videos and subscribe to the channel if you don't already. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll be back with another video soon.